You've got all these people in the Starbucks and 5 police officers and 1 person is uncomfortable. Well, I'm sorry, but the majority says you're the loser that's uncomfortable.
Right.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Business Newsroom. We are going to have some interesting discussion here today, and we're going to keep it civil, and we are going to kind of be solely objective to this. As we've talked about before, we're sort of against putting politics and business into the same realm.
Yep.
So I want to talk to you today, Dad, and we briefly touched on it off camera and decided if we're going to have a discussion about this, let's just hit record and see where this goes.
Yep.
So Starbucks fiasco a few days ago. So 5 Arizona police officers were in a Starbucks before starting their shifts, and an employee of Starbucks asked them to leave because a customer in the shop was uncomfortable by their presence.
Yes.
And disgustedly, they left, and that set into a whole string of events in motion. And so now we're here to talk about that, and again, from a non-political and from a business perspective.
Right. And we are skating on thin ice here.
It's hard to talk about these objectively, whatever. I support our law enforcement, our first responders, our military, the people who actually take care of us and watch out for us. You got your, yep. So I normally have my Black Rifle Coffee Company mug. Black Rifle Coffee took that as an opportunity to actually show their support for law enforcement. And they said, there was just a couple of days ago in Salt Lake City at their main headquarters, they had free coffee for all law enforcement for the day. And they're sending pounds upon pounds of coffee to the Tempe, Arizona Police Department to show their support. They're taking advantage of that like they should, because that is who they are.
Yeah.
But the thing is that Black Rifle Coffee in specific is an organization that proudly says that they're American made, it's done in the US, it's run by veterans, it has, they've already come across the Starbucks, they've already clashed a year or so ago, we've talked about this before. But they have come out and they have said, hey, we're pro law enforcement, we're pro military. They even have coffee on their website with a blue line around the bag, which when you buy that coffee, it goes to donate. It's donated to law enforcement families. They have come out and they have said, this is who we are and this is what we do.
Yeah.
Which to me says, this is our policies, this is who we are.
Yep.
If you don't agree with that, you don't have to buy our coffee from us.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
Starbucks has never, as far as I know, taken any sort of a stand politically against this type of thing. So they are the ones who are saying we're national, international, anybody is welcome, come buy our coffee, but then you're asking people to leave the store, which means either you're there for everybody or you're not.
Right. Like what exactly are you? You can say you're tolerant, but then if you're intolerant of this group, then you're actually not tolerant.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's like.
So I think where business owners get themselves into trouble is they worry about criticism.
Yeah.
If you're in business, you can't worry about criticism. Now, if you look at your Google reviews and there are 50 reviews and 48 of them are 2 stars, you have a problem.
Right.
But if you have 50 reviews and 48 of them are 4 and 5 stars, and then there's a couple of 1 and 2 stars,
that's normal.
Forget about it.
Right.
That's normal. All right. So as a business owner, yes, you do need to take a look and always be striving to do better. But man, you are running down a rabbit hole if you're going to try and make everybody happy and avoid criticism. But to your point, you have to know who you are.
Yeah.
You have to know who your customers are. You have to be who you're going to be. If you can't establish an identity of the market that you're going after, and you're just trying to always make everybody happy, you're going to lose sleep, you're going to be stressed, you're going to have ulcers.
And I think Starbucks is so big now that they are playing that game.
They're totally playing that game.
Because they're trying to be the place for everybody. Whereas, like I said, Black Rifle Coffee Company is very much, this is who we are.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you don't agree with that, you're not buying their product.
Right.
But they've taken that stance from the beginning, whereas Starbucks has tried to be the international brand of coffee.
Pretty much, I'm of the viewpoint you need to keep business and you need to keep religion separate. You need to keep politics and business separate. But I have a client who is very successful. He's got a Midwest dental practice, and he advertises on the Christian radio station, and every morning he prays with his staff and he prays with his patients, and that's who he is.
Right.
And he has a very successful practice. So if that's who he is, then I acknowledge him for just broadcasting it literally, this is who I am,
Yeah.
and if you want a Christian dentist, then this is the place where you should go.
And I'm fine with that.
And I'm totally fine with
But
that.
what I do have a problem with is when you say that you're good for everybody, but then you're asking groups or interest or people to leave.
Yep.
Then you're creating a problem for yourself there, because if somebody comes to me and says, "Hey, I'm uncomfortable with those law enforcement officers being there," I'd say, "Listen, I totally understand. They're customers, just like
you
anybody
are.
else.
Yeah.
If you have a problem with that or that makes you uncomfortable, then maybe you can go outside.
Yeah.
Maybe you can get the heck in your car." But it's interesting.
Or say, listen, I understand if you'd like for this drink to be free today, then you're free to go. There's no charge.
Sure, yeah.
Here's a $10 card that I'm giving you for your $5 coffee.
Great.
It just
Great.
but you have to be who you're going to be.
But you have to say that if that's who you're going to be, then that's what
who
you
you
have
are.
to be. And as soon as you start trying to change that, you're screwing yourself in business.
And I just saw an article today that Home Depot now, there's this whole big movement to boycott Home Depot because a former founder and former board of directors is now coming out to support Donald Trump. And now there's this whole big thing.
Right.
The dude sold out 15 years ago. So it'll be interesting, and maybe we can do another video on it. It'll be interesting to see how Home Depot reacts to this. If I'm Home Depot, I'm not going to react to it. I'm like, I'm Home Depot. Here's the truth. The guy left, like 2001 or 2005. He's no longer on the board. He's retired. He's like, I don't know, 75, 80 years old.
Yeah.
He's out living his life, and he wants to support Donald Trump. So these are the facts, people. So Home Depot, in my opinion, will be interesting to see how they respond. Oh, they're going to do this. They're going to do that. They're now going to, support the Democratic candidate or whatever, which is now you're chasing.
See, this goes back to what we talked about with the Yelp videos and what we did.
Yeah.
Is that social media, the media, these types of platforms are giving all of the power to 2 to 3% of the population to make noise.
Yeah.
And if you as a business owner are scared about that 2 to 3%, sell your business and go the heck somewhere else, because there's nothing you're going to be able to do about this small percentage of people that are going to always make noise.
Yeah.
They've always made noise. These people have always made noise from the beginning of time.
And they always will.
And they always will.
Yep.
But this is making it seem like it's more and more of the population than it really is. So you have, just for instance, you've got all these people in the Starbucks and 5 police officers and 1 person is uncomfortable. Well, I'm sorry, but the majority says you're the loser that's uncomfortable.
Right. I'm just laughing because when we launched my book, Fun at Work, on April the 2nd, that day we hit Amazon's #1 bestseller as far as new releases go.
Yeah.
And that day we got a 2-star review. Now the book takes about 8 hours to read, but somebody bought a Kindle version.
He didn't even read the whole book.
No, he bought a Kindle version. He's somewhere up in, I don't know, Finland or Norway or somewhere, and he, within 20
hours.
minutes. Yeah, he gives me a 2-star review. I'm like, okay, I'm not changing the book.
Yeah.
I don't care. Go look at all my 5-star reviews now. It's like, okay, this is who I am, and if you want to give me, you want to prove your relevance by giving me.
But we could have caved and said, oh, the book's been up for 2 hours and we failed.
Right.
Because this one loser gives us a bad review.
Right.
Who cares?
So I am who I am. We are who we are, and that's what you need to be.
Yeah. And just do what you say you're going to do. I have no problem with any group or organization that does what they say they're going to do. But when you start throwing in all these other things into it, that's when I start to have a problem with it.
Yeah.
And
And be completely willing for this 2 or 3 or 5% of the population to attack you, attack your product, lie about you online, is like to spend any energy at all trying to cater to that group is just a waste of time.
Yeah.
And that energy needs to go towards expansion. It needs to be going towards the group that you know who you're after. The Black Rifle Coffee guys, there are guns in every video. And people who don't like guns, they know aren't going to buy their coffee,
Right.
but they're doing fine amongst the crowd that does like guns.
Right.
And so I'm not saying be pro-gun or anti-gun, but at least you know who these guys are.
They are who they say they are, and they do what they're going to do.
And so that's what you need to do. You need to decide who you are, and then just removing politics, removing religion, removing everything, you're going to get criticism, forget about it.
Yeah.
And unless that criticism now is entering the 10, 20, 30% range, you don't even need to.
Well, Starbucks has moved down a path that has nothing to do with coffee.
Exactly.
Coffee is supposed to be able to be drunk by anybody, anywhere, at any time,
Yep.
no matter what color they are, what religion they follow, whatever. I mean, it's
Yep.
the #1 consumed beverage in the world.
Yeah.
And now they're making that into some sort of a political statement that
Exactly.
has nothing to do with coffee.
So do not let this creep into your business. It is death. It is deadly.
Just be who you are.
Be who you are, know who you are, and then ignore the criticism. And, you know, as long as
Yeah.
it doesn't push up over 5 or 10%, just forget about it.
Yeah,
and
like I
move
said
on.
in the Yelp videos, if you're getting constant reviews of the same thing, then you have a problem.
Right.
But if it's 1 or 2 people here and there,
Move
okay,
on.
you're never going to please everybody.
Move on.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Even I can't please everybody, amazingly enough. So anyway, we hope that you learned a little bit here. We just wanted to get our 2 cents in from a objective perspective of the Starbucks incident, not being pro or against or anything, but just from a business perspective, Starbucks has moved past the point of coffee, and
Yep.
they've made it about something else that it's not supposed to be.
Yep.
And it probably won't hurt them because
Yeah. They're so
everybody who
well
wasn't,
established
yeah,
that-
everybody who wasn't drinking their coffee anyway because it tastes like crap wasn't going to go there anyway.
Right.
Whatever.
And people who love it are still going to go back.
They're still going to love it. Yeah.
But you don't need to do this to yourself.
it's unnecessary.
It's unnecessary.
Yeah. All right. Well, I hope you learned something here today. Please give us a like. Give us a comment down below. Be civil. You can call us total idiots and say that we don't know what we're talking
Be
about.
uncivil. We can take it.
But I might get upset.
Neil's feeling might get hurt.
Yeah.
He only has one.
I have one. I have to be careful with this thing. Anyway, we'll see you next time.